Hello viewers, welcome to another project demo by Project Maker. In this video, I will be demonstrating you my new machine learning project which is IPL price predictor. So before starting, if you are new to this channel, then hit the subscribe button and click on bell icon to watch my video first. Now let's move to our computer screen for project demonstration. As you can see, I have already opened data science and machine learning projects playlist in front of you because we will be adding this project in this playlist so that it will be easier for you to access it later. Now let's move towards the project demonstration. I have hosted this project on Streamlit. I have used same platform to host my laptop price predictor project, so if you have not watched that video or project demonstration, please do watch that. So I have added a beautiful background image, as you can see, beautiful title, then some input fields. So let's check them. So these are the 8 team names that currently playing IPL. I know currently there are total 10 teams playing IPL, but I have not considered Gujarat Titans and Lucknow Super Giants as they have launched into IPL 2 years ago. So they have not played enough matches for making the prediction. So I have taken data from 2008 to 2021 only. So therefore there are only 8 teams available in this drop down. So let's check one of those. Suppose we select Mumbai Indians. So here Mumbai Indians option is not available, as you can see, because a team cannot play with itself. So let's check Sunrise Hyderabad, the city. I have not given the name of stadium. I have just given the name of city, as you can see. Now let's check Mumbai. Target, let's make it 145. Score, which means what is the current score. So let's say the current score is around 87, and how many overs are completed, let's say 13, and how many wickets are down of the batting team. So I will simply say 3 wickets down and just click on the winning probability. As you can see, Mumbai Indians has a winning probability of 75% because wickets are down only 3, and Sunrise Hyderabad is of 25%. So this match can be more difficult for Sunrise Hyderabad to win. Now suppose if I make wickets to 6, then let's check the probability. As you can see, the probability is reverse, as you can see, because the main openers and batsmen are out and only bowlers are playing the match. So the probability is reverse. Now let's check if the venue makes some changes in this probability or not. So if I select Ahmedabad, as you can see, the probability has changed. So every field in this model has a great impact on predicting models probability. So this is my beautiful IPL victory predictor project. Now let's explore how I created this project. For that, let's move to our destination folder. This is my destination folder, as you can see. Then these are the 2 dataset that I have used, and this is the clean dataset, or you can say the extracted dataset that I have used to create our model. So I have downloaded these 2 dataset from a website which is famous called as Kaggle, and this is that dataset. I will provide the link of this dataset in description so you can also download it. So let's move back, and this is the background image that I just show you. After that, this is a Jupyter file for making model, Python file for making user interface, and this is the PKL file, as you can see. Now let's open this folder in Jupyter notebook so that I can explain you how I created the model. So for that, I will simply type cmd here and just type Jupyter notebook. Just wait. And as you can see, the folder has opened. Now we are interested in this Jupyter file. So this is our Jupyter file. I have got one feedback from one of the viewer that I have not explained laptop price predictor project because the situation in which I made that video was not so good. So I just presented my project to you and give the access of source code. And I will not make this mistake in this project. I will try my level best to explain you this project. So let's move back. So let's start. So first is importing the packages, so which is pandas and warnings. Pandas to read dataset, warnings to just avoid the warnings. You can just avoid this input if you don't want. After that, this is our first dataset, which is this file. So as you can see, the contents of dataset dot CSV file are in front of you. It has around 21 columns and nearly 85 to 90,000 rows. I will just show you the entire size of dataset. So I will just run this cell and the size is around, oh, it's 1,79,078 rows. So how big is the data? The reason behind is that it has the score of every ball played from 2008 to 2021 in this dataset. I will show you. So the first over, first ball, first over, second ball, first over, third ball, and the parameters like is the super over, by runs, penalty runs, batsman runs, extra runs, total runs. In short, it has every attribute required for us to building the model. So this is that first dataset. Now let's explore second dataset. So this is second dataset. As you can see, the size of that dataset is around, I don't remember. So the size is around 756. So this is very small dataset as compared to the above dataset, and it has only 18 columns. So we will be merging the required columns from both of this dataset to make our final dataset, which is final.csv that I have created. Now I will just open that dataset to show you that which columns are required for us. So this is the final dataset. I will just open. So these are the columns that we required for creating the model. So first is the batting team that we will get from first dataset. Second also bowling team that we will get. Third is C team. Then these three are easy because they are already present in the first dataset. Now the runs left, balls left, wickets left, total runs, current run rate, required run rate, all these fields are not available in any of these two data. So we will be calculating these fields. Now let's move back to the Jupyter notebook. So these were the two imports of main two files. After that, the performing data cleaning operation. First we will find that what was the total score of each inning and not match, because in one match there are two innings. So let's calculate that. So I have used the first dataset. As you can see, I have just used group by match ID, so that the total runs of this dataset, which are these total runs, this is the total run columns which has a run score in every ball, but we don't want the run score after every ball, we want the run score in an inning. So for that I have just used dot sum function. This sum function will give me the run scored in each innings according to match ID and innings, because match ID for one match is same and innings for each match at inning 1 and inning 2. I will just show you the output so that it will be better for you to understand. As you can see, the match ID is 1 and the innings is 1. So the first batting team scored 208 runs. After that, the chasing team or second team scored 173 runs. So in this way, the dot sum function has calculated the total runs scored after each innings. I hope you have understood this. Now let's move ahead. The next is total runs. Total runs means we have to calculate what was the target for that run. So that we will be using for this column, which is target column. So for that, I have simply selected the first inning of every match as target and added 1 to it, because the target is always 1 greater than the total score. For example, CSK scored 200 runs. So the target for opponent team will be 201 runs and not 200 runs. So this is the reason I have added 1 to every column of this total runs. After that, the total runs will look like this. Now we will be adding this column into our second dataset, because most of the required columns are present in second dataset. So for that, I have just used merge function and merged this column at the end of this second dataset, as you can see, which is this dataset, on the basis of match ID. So here match ID plays an important role. So this match DF has around 20 columns, but we don't want all 20 columns. So I have selected only these columns for creating our final model or final dataset. So these are the column, which is ID, city, winner, total runs. And after that, I have simply renamed the column ID to match ID. The reason I will tell you later on. After that, I have simply created a variable second innings and merged the match DF dataset to first inning dataset. because the batting team and bowling team are present in first inning dataset. As we know, this is the output, as you can see, and these are the rows of first innings or match DF column, as you can see. Now let's move ahead. After that, I have simply selected the second innings because we will be predicting the winner, and the shape of it is around 86,240 rows and 24 columns, but 24 columns are too much. We want only 9 or 10 rows, as you can see. So we will be removing all the other rows in further steps. Now let's move ahead, which is removing repeating and old teams. So there are only 8 teams up to 2022, as we know, but in dataset there are around 15 to 16 teams, so we don't want them because this team is of, I don't know where it came, or it was just human error. Rising Pune Supergiants just played for 2 years, so we will be removing data related to Rising Pune Supergiants, and one more was that Gujarat Lions from a dataset completely because it will make our model less accurate. And after that, there is a team called Delhi Daredevils, but the correct name of Delhi Daredevils is Delhi Capital. So we will simply replace the name of Delhi Daredevils to Delhi Capitals and Deccan Chargers to Sunrise Hyderabad. So I have done the same in this next cell, as you can see. After executing this cell, the batting team and bowling team has this team's name left, which are still more than it. So for removal of unwanted teams, I have simply created a list which has the team's name, which we will be keeping for making the model. So these are those 8 teams which are available in current IPL. Now simply I have removed all the data related to the teams which are except these teams using is in function and just passed here list. So this function will simply check with every row that the team name is among this list or not. If it is not in that list, it will simply exclude that row, and if it is in the list, it will consider the row. And in this way, the second variable will have only 8 teams. As you can see, I will just show you the output. Just copy paste it and just run it. As you can see, there are only 8 teams in front of you. So let's move ahead. Now let's find the current score of our dataset. But in the dataset there is no such column present. But using the column total runs y, we can find the current score using the cumulative sum function. This column stores runs made by batsman at particular ball. So to calculate total score after each ball, we will use a concept called as cumulative sum. We just go on adding, and after at the end we just get the total sum of column. So we will use the same concept here. I have grouped the second innings according to the group ID and just pass total runs y in this cumulative sum function. So what it will do is that it will simply go on the calculating 1 0 1 2. So after this the sum should be 3 and not 2. So it has done the same. So after first ball the score is 1, second ball the score was 0 on second first, so the score will be 1. After third ball the score will be 1, and after fourth ball the total run y is 2, but the cumulative sum has added the previous 1 run and current 2 run to get sum of 3 runs, as you can see. So the final output of current score function is in front of you, that 1 1 0 1 0 1 and 2 3. After that on fifth ball the player hit 4, so the total cumulative score was 7, and it is updated here. So in this way we have created a current score function. Now let's move ahead. After that we need to calculate the runs left after every ball, which is a very simple step, because as we have calculated the current score after each ball, we can simply calculate the remaining score by simply subtracting it from target that we have already calculated above. So the target is simply total run x in our case, or in this data set, and the current score column is simply this column that we just added in this second inning data set, and we will simply add one more column in this data set, which is runs left, and the data in this column will be the subtraction of total runs minus current runs. So as you can see, the total runs is 208. and current score is 1. So runs left are 207, and it has done the same in the rows also. So this was the calculation of runs left. After that, the calculation of balls left. So to calculate balls left after each ball, I have founded this formula after referring various blogs and videos. So the formula is that 126 minus second innings of over, which means this, into 6 plus second innings of ball, which is this. So let's calculate using this formula for live demonstration. Suppose the over is first and the ball is first. So after one ball is thrown, 119 balls are left. So let's see the calculation. 1 here, second innings of over will become 1. So 1 into 6, 6, and after that the second inning of ball. So the ball is 1. So 6 plus 1 is 7, and 126 minus 7 is 119, and the output is 119, as you can see. In the similar way, the list of the score or balls left is calculated. Now let's move ahead. Now getting wickets. So this was a little tedious function for me, but I managed to calculate the wickets. So in our dataset there is no wickets name column, but the column of player dismiss is present. I will just show you that. So the player dismiss column is this. So this column states that for a particular delivery whether a player was out or not. So where the player was out, it has simply given us the name of that player, else it has simply written nan, which is null. So on this ball the player was out, but on the above balls player was not out, so it has simply written nan. Now let's move back. I have used simple logic that if there is a nan value here, then simply replace it with 0 or fill null value by 0 function. After that, where there is no 0, which means the player has got out, so I have simply filled that value 1, as you can see using this lambda function here. After that, I have simply changed the data type of this column from string to integer, as you can see. Now wickets. To calculate wickets, I have again used the cumulative sum function, because after performing the calculation, the output will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1 when the player got out. So just calculating up to innings. According to the match head, the cumulative function will get calculated. So the cumulative sum will never exceed 10 wickets. So this was all my logic, and pass the player dismiss function. So after performing all these tedious tasks, wickets will contain that 7 wickets are taken, 8 wickets are taken, but I want wickets remaining. So I have simply created a new column in this second inning dataset and just subtracted 10 minus wickets. So it will simply return that after one ball 10 wickets were remaining, after 2, 3, 4 balls some wickets were remaining, and as you can see at the end of the dataset the wickets have been reduced to 3, which means the 7 wickets have gone. So in this way I have just calculated this getting wickets function and added this column at the end of this dataset. Now let's move ahead. The next is current run rate. I have just used this formula to calculate the current run rate. So current run rate is simply total runs made upon overs. So this is the formula. In the similar way, the next is required run rate function. The required run rate function is simply that runs left upon overs left. So this is the required run rate function. I have used the same round function and rounded the answer up to 2 decimal digits, as you can see. And after performing all such operation, the final dataset is of around 30 or 29 columns. Oh, it has 30 columns, as you can see, but we want only 9 to 10, so we will be discarding the remaining columns. But before discarding, let's add one more column or last column in this dataset, which is predicting winner. But winner column is already present, but it is present in string, and we want that if batting team has won or bowling team has won. So to find this, I have simply created a winner function. It will simply return 1 if batting team has won the game, or return 0 if bowling team has won the game. And after that, I have simply created a new column in second innings table, as you can see, and just added the result, that 0 means bowling team has won and 1 means winning team has won. But as you can see, the entire result is 0 column. So for the match, every bowling team as well is considered. So I will just show the sample. If batting team has won in some cases or not. Let's take our luck. So as you can see, there are also one present in somewhere in this result column. So the function is working perfectly fine, so we can move ahead. After that, the final and the favorite task is that only taking required data. So we will be taking the batting team name, bowling team name, city, runs left, balls left, wickets remaining, total runs X, which is the total score, current run rate, required run rate, and results from our this 31 column data set. And finally, we will be sampling the dataset for proper model building so that our model will be more accurate. So I have simply used sample function which will just reshuffle the data. After that, there were few null values in this dataset, so I have simply used drop na to remove the rows which contain null values. And the next is removing rows where balls left equal to 0 to remove minus infinity and infinity from RRR column, which is required run rate, which is this column. As you can see, it has some minus values which is not suitable for building our model. So I have simply used this function which simply removes the rows from our final dataset where the balls left is 0. So after that, we will simply store this data into final data.csv file, which is our this file, as you can see, that we just opened. In this way, we have successfully created a file data.csv which is 100% clean and that we will be using for model preparation. Now building a model is very easy task as compared to data cleaning. So I have imported sklearn, which is famous for using the models, and what I do is that I have simply taken a result column in y variable and remaining all columns in x variable. After that, I have just splitted the data using TTS, which is 10, test and split. I have splitted the data on test size of 0.25 and random set of 100. So this is the x train data, which is around 54,000 row, which means our training data set has 54,000 row and testing data set has around 18,000 row, as you can see. After that, I use one-hot encoder to convert these string columns into numerical values, because we cannot give string input to our model because model accepts only numerical values. So one-hot encoder is used for converting the string values to numerical values, and I have just passed these three columns, as you can see. After that, I have just created a model, and this is a pass-through function which makes sure that the remaining columns are not touched while converting these three columns into numerical columns. After that, I have simply created a pipeline, which is the main task of our project, which is building model. Step 1 will be processing of all these three columns, and after that I have just applied logistic regression model for prediction purpose. Just after that, the training model using this lane, testing model, and the accuracy of logistic regression model is around 81%, which is okay for us because this is IPL. We cannot give 100% accuracy that team A will win. I will just give an example. Suppose CSK is playing, Dhoni is in field, but the wickets are 8 gone, and still we have to do 50 runs from 10 balls. But MS Dhoni can do it, as we all know. So our model will fail in that case. So we should not make model as accurate as it can be. So I use this model. I have also created the same concept using random forest classifier model, which is giving me 99% accuracy, which is too much. This accuracy will definitely fail in the MS Dhoni wala case, because MS Dhoni can do anything. So it is related to prediction. So it will give almost 100% accurate result, but we don't want that because IPL changes on every ball, as we know. So I have deployed this model using logistic regression classifier into pipe.pkl, and I have also created random forest classifier which has 99% accuracy into pipe2.pkl. So that's why these two files were present here. So this was all about model building. Now let's make the beautiful user interface using Streamlit. So for that, this is the destination folder. I will simply open it in VS Code. It is only 70 lines of code. I use this base64 package to display the background image. Streamlit, which is the whole and soul of our program. Pickle, just to input the two pkl files. And this function is simply used to add the image to the background of Streamlit. Then this is the image that we have imported. After that, this is the styling that I have done to this title, as you can see. After that, these are the team names, and I have added the extra select column so that the select function appears here. Let's load it, which is this function, as you can see. So these are the teams and these are the cities. After that, I have just loaded the model pipe, because I have created this Streamlit project using pipe1, which is a logistic regression classification. I will just show you this model by using pipe2. We will run later on. So after that, I have simply used st.markdown page bg image and unsafe allow html equal to 2, which means allow the basic html, which is this, for background, and please show our image on background. After that, st.markdown, so this is the title of our model or project. After that, I have simply splitted the screen into two columns using this command, and for column 1 I have just used select box, select batting team, and just pass here teams, which is this list. So this drop down menu appears due to this. And for select bowling team, I have done a trick that if one select Mumbai Indians from select batting team, then it will not appear in this bowling team option. So for that, I have simply used this if else condition, as you can see. It's very easy to understand. After that, select city using select window and pass the cities list here, which is this list. After that, target, I will take an input target, and after that I have divided the column into three parts for score, overs completed, and wickets down, which are these three columns, as you can see. After that, if someone presses this predict winning probability button, which is this button, then our result will be shown. So I have simply done some calculations before passing the user inputs to our model. So I have simply calculated runs left by subtracting target minus score, balls left using the formula, which is 120 minus over into 6, and wickets is simply 10 minus wickets. Current run rate is equal to score over current rate is equal to runs left upon balls left by 6, because this balls left will return the count of balls, and it will not return that 2 overs are remaining. It will simply return 12 balls are remaining. So how many overs are remaining? So it will return the number of overs, and CR and RRR will be calculated. After that, I have simply packed the user input and my calculations in the data frame, as you can see. So this batting name is similar to our final dataset.csv file name, which is this. So make sure you also give accurate name. So I have simply passed batting teams here, bowling teams here, selected cities, runs left, balls left, wickets, target, total runs, as you can see, current run rate and required run rate. And after taking input data, I have simply passed this data to our pipe.predict function and just input data which I have passed and just predicted a probability that I use here also. I will just show you that now, which is the predict proba function, which is this function, as you can see. So this is the output of the random classifier model, which is 1 and 0, which is only on one side. And this is the probability of logistic regression model, which is around 77 and 22%, which looks comparative as compared to our example that I just told. And after that, it will simply return the answer in this array, but we don't want to display such array in our output field, as you can see. So I have taken the first input into loss column and second input into winning column, and after that I have simply done batting team, which is this name, and rounded the function to 0 decimal because we just want to show the accuracy in percent and not in point, and multiplied the win into 100 because the accuracy was in our case 0.77. so after multiplying by 100, it will simply return 77, and here it will return 22. This is the reason of multiplying win into 100 and loss into 100, and simply using this set header function I have simply shown the output here. So this was the entire project explanation of my project IPL Victory Predictor. I hope you have understood my project and my implementation details in depth. One more thing I forgot to tell you, that Streamlit has also mobile friendly view. So if I just place F12 here, it will simply give me mobile view, which is this. So in mobile it will look like this, which is pretty enough, and we can edit it using also mobiles. So if you are watching this video on mobile, you can just try this mobile view also just by typing my URL on your Chrome browser or any browser. So this was all about today's video, and if you want the source code of this video, you can simply click here, which is GitHub account, or also go to my blog where I update the source code of every project. My blog URL is projectmaker.me. So this is my blog where I will update that how you can run this project. And if you want to access other projects, so I have created various categories such as advanced Python projects, where I demonstrated advanced projects, as you can see, machine data structures, programming puzzles. So these are few programming puzzles and some tutor designs, which is these designs. So I have created sections in this blog according to the playlist that I have created on YouTube, so it will be easy for you to access this blog. And also you can use this search feature to search any of the video tutorial if you want. Suppose you want to search this text conversion using Python, so you can just type text conversion and hit enter. So this is the output of the search feature. You can just click on it and explore this blog and steps to execute the program that I have provided here. And I have also tried to explain this program in blog also, so that you can easily understand except watching this video. But for detailed explanation, you can simply just click on this icon to watch the video, as you can see. So this is my video. You can simply click on YouTube so that you can watch it on YouTube also. So that's all for now. I hope you have understood this IPL predictor project in detail. So here comes the end of this video. If you like this video, then don't forget to share it with your family and friends, and also give a thumbs up to this video, which motivates me to create more such amazing projects for you all guys. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching this video.